Hi friends, I would like to think a little deeper today about the coronavirus. It's almost 2 months now that we regularly hear about the coronavirus. Any TV channel I open, coronavirus. Any paper I open, coronavirus. Any people I meet, coronavirus. We are quarantined, nation is locked down, some villages and cities are sealed down. This is the situation. I would like to see some of the positive effects of this deadly coronavirus. In fact, I had tears in my eyes seeing the mortality rate, seeing the coffins, seeing the mass burial. It led me closer to God. It realigned my relationship with God. It redesigned my relationship with God. It redefined myself. Earlier, all the time activities. Always moving out, doing things. Now, because there is a lockdown, because we are quarantined, home quarantine, that made me, instead of looking outside, to look inside. I began to see how God is redefining me, realigning me. I begin to see the hand of God in everything. In this coronavirus, in this tragic moment, is there a hand of God in this situation? I remember long back in 1980s seeing a movie, God in the Dock, which is a half-an-hour movie. Of course, whenever I get time, I would love to see that movie again and again because it gives me so much a message from above. In this movie, God in the Dock, you see, people are blaming God for every damn thing. Man-made calamities, natural calamities, or something accidentally happens, everything is, God is blamed. And God in the dock, God in the judgment seat, simply keeps quiet. And towards the end, He responds, He opens His mouth. He says, suffering that you experience, the hardships that you experience is like a garbage. A garbage that neither looks good nor smells good. But this garbage produces excellent fertilizer. And there I was stuck. That opened myself from within. That made me think, that made me reflect. Suffering is like a garbage that produces excellent fertilizer. When we go through these sufferings, when we go through these calamities, there is a hand of God in everything. Nothing happens in the world simply like that. If God is the God of universe, that means God is omnipotent, omniscient. He is all powerful, all knowing. Blessed is the one who enters himself or herself and sees the beauty of God's hand in the situation. Now, there is a renewed focus on everything. Renewed focus on the surrounding. Renewed focus on the small petty works that we were doing. Renewed focus of the inner self, on the inner self. There is a value of health has emerged. We have seen the positive effects in so many things. Because we were focusing outside, our body was agitated, mind was agitated, the heart was agitated, the feelings were agitated. Now everything is calmed down. So there is a shift. Shift from a hectic life to some calmness. There is a shift from looking outside to looking inside. Man has started seeing the hand of God. I believe in a worst tragedy like this, the best way God is teaching us to be ourselves. See, the prayer, be it be for Catholics, be it be for Muslims, be it be for the Hindus, anybody, any religion, the regular practice of going to the mosques, church, temples is now shifted. You do not do what you are supposed to do, but you do what your conscience tells you to do. Everything now springs from within. You are fed up listening here and there. In the calmness and in the stillness of your mind and heart, you are alone in your room and alone in your house and alone in your farm. God is speaking within you and you are realigned, you are redefined, you are redesigned. How is this? If this pandemic was not there, would you be the same person today, thinking deeply, thinking about others, thinking about God? Most of us have forgotten about God. We think of God only when a calamity comes. We think about God only when a tragedy occurs. Now God is telling you to think about Him every day, at every moment. Every breath that you take is the gift of God. Every time you breathe, you think of God. Because God is teaching you so many things. So let us not always see into negative things. So many people died, and why this God is allowed by God? Where is God? Where God is absent. Never enter into a negative feeling, negative thought. You find positive in it. You will be a successful person. In that, you can turn every tragedy into a joyful event. Not that we are happy that people have died. Not that we are happy that it is spreading. No, absolutely no. We are saddened. But we are happy that God is speaking to us in volumes. God is speaking to us in loud voice. Let us spend this time to do things in a different way so that we may redesign our activities, redesign everything that we do. Realign if you are going in the wrong path, if you have forgotten God, if you have forgotten the neighbor. Realign yourself. Bring yourself back to the line. And redefine yourself. So your life from today onwards, your life from this moment onwards, Corona pandemic has changed your perspective. If you do this, God has achieved His purpose. God bless you. Thank you very much. If you think what I spoke from my heart is meaningful, if you think what I said made you think, made you reflect that God is redefining everything, realigning everything, redesigning everything, then you can put your comments. You can subscribe our channel.